All right, welcome to the 8th episode of the Revolutionary Code, where we bring you the truth about how governmental politics actually works in every facet of human existence and how that affects our people, Black people here in America. I am your host, Brother Tamani M. Wandani out of Houston, Texas. I am the direct revolutionary product of one Cardinal and Bayou Chewy out of the Shrines of the Black Madonna, and the indirect revolutionary product of one Albert B. Clegg, African name Jaramogi Abebe Ajiman, the father of liberation theology and the founder of the Shrines of the Black Madonna. I am also the founder of the Black Gold Nation movement. My co-host, the National Director of Political Strategy and Implementation for the Black Gold Nation movement, and the chairman of LACE, Liberation Advocates for Community Empowerment, the intellectual gangster and corporate grassroots revolutionary, from Shreveport, Louisiana, aka The Boot, Brother Craig B. Lee.
Greetings, greetings. I am ecstatic today. LeBron James and the Los Angeles Lakers are up 3 games to 1 on your janky ass Houston. And I'm loving it.
I'm not a basketball fan. I don't follow it, so I'm not gonna say much.
the king. So I welcome everybody out here today for our Thursday episode, latest episode of the Revolutionary Code. I hope you guys are having a wonderful week, and we promise to have some more edutainment, enlightening dialogue for you guys as we head into the election cycle.
Definitely. If you are joining us via Zoom, please post your questions in the chat if you have any. If you rather not be on the camera, and if you are okay being on camera, make sure your phone is turned sideways so that we can properly capture your essence. If you're joining us via Facebook, please post your questions in the comment section. And to any of our ambassadors who are tuning in, please share tonight's show via a watch party on Facebook. Before we get started this evening, please allow me a moment to briefly tell you about the Black Gold Nation movement. Our ultimate goal is to put ourselves in a position by which we can own and or control the environment, because it is our contention, it is our understanding. It has been proven time and time again that when we allow other people to control our environment, we lose, always. When we allow any people to control any aspect of our environment, any systems that we allow other people to control, we lose in the aspect of that system. Be it the political system, the economic system, the security system, the agricultural system, the political system, any system that governs any aspect of our lives. When other people control that, we lose. And conversely, when we are in control of our own environment, of our own systems within that environment, not only do we win, but we outperform everybody else. They get upset, they get jealous, they attack us and destroy it. That's been the playbook. So since we don't want to continue losing, we seek to identify Black people who are ready to do something, find people who are ready to be organized so that we can connect and build. We're not just here to inform or educate you. We are here to inform, educate, motivate, mobilize, organize, and build. Everything we do is about bringing our people together so that we can find the right Black people who are ready to do something that matters, which is build a nation within this nation with power so that we can move forward. Tonight's show title is The Philosophy, System, and Game of Capitalism, White Supremacy, and Racism, the Danger of Identity Politics, Bad Leadership, and Bad Advice. All right, brother, we're going to get right into this thing. For those that did not make it last week, give us a quick rundown on what the philosophy, system, and game of capitalistic white supremacy and racism is. What is that?
So everything that exists in the world that we live in on planet Earth revolves around ideas. And these ideas that govern each country, each city, state, county, parish, these particular ideas are part of a concept called philosophy. And a philosophy is your thought on how things should go. your premise. And so white supremacy is an idea that Europeans have created for them to dominate the world. And so that's the philosophical part. And their white supremacy also is connected to two other dominant philosophies, one called manifest destiny, which they believe that God has entitled them, enabled them to control everything on the planet and now into space. And then their other white supremacist sub-philosophy, which is called the divine right of kings, which means they are not accountable. Their rulership is not accountable to any earthly being. The only entity that they are responsible to is God. And that's why you got to know who God is, because God is them. You know, God is really you. But if you don't know that you're God, you're going to get played in the game. So that's the philosophical part. And then they set that up through a very complex system of rules that are minute and uniform. And that then goes into the realm of a game. So you got philosophy, system, and game. And the system is rooted in racism. That's the structure of how they do it. So the philosophy of white supremacy, they're able to use this. And the game is a metaphor off of chess. So just like the chessboard, they use different pieces on the chessboard, pawns, bishops, rooks, knights, queen, in order to maneuver in the overall game. And that's why it's so complex for the majority of people to understand, because they've never been taught to think, and definitely critically think on these levels to understand this is how all of this comes into play.
All right, cool. I had to unmute my mic. Okay, thank you for that brief overview, brother, of what we mean when we say the philosophy, system, and game of capitalistic white supremacy and racism. So for those who are unaware or unfamiliar, what do you mean by identity politics?
So identity politics, and again, it's important for people to know politics is not just government. Politics is any agenda that you or a group may have that you want to get accomplished. So that can be done in your family, in your business, in your sorority, fraternity. So when we talk about identity politics, we're talking about people who you identify with for whatever reason. And most oftentimes, it's going to be something revolving around money, status, or materialism. But it could be some type of personal childhood connection, you know, things of that particular nature. And so when we're talking about government politics, and we're talking about identity politics, personality politics, we're talking about people who are promoted to the majority of individuals by way of the media, and they're able to establish a connection with the people around money, status, and materialism. It could be around, for example, a lot of people like R. Kelly, right? And they like R. Kelly because he made good music.
Right.
So now when it comes out that R. Kelly has raped little girls,
right?
People who identify with them say, that's impossible. There's no way that R. Kelly would have done that. So that's identity politics, because they identify with him through music.
Yep.
So they don't know how to separate the entertainer musician from these critical charges and analyze. So this is where this concept of cognitive dissonance comes in. And so the architects, engineers, and managers of the philosophy, system, and game of capitalistic white supremacy, they find individuals, Barack Obama, Kamala Harris, they find different individuals that they can promote to the majority of people. They do this on the African side, the white side, the Latino side. They do it for each ethnic group. They do it for each gender. And they do it in order to now manipulate people to follow a particular agenda that they would, basically like them to follow. So that's what we're talking about when we say identity politics. People who can entice individuals to like them by way of concepts that make them feel good.
Right. Okay, this is not one of my questions, but since you made the use the term, we need to define it. So cognitive dissonance, what do you mean by that?
So let's say you have a belief, and most people believe without thinking. For example, I was born, raised up in the Christian religion under the denomination of Protestant Baptists in Shreveport, Louisiana. I was raised that way. So therefore, I believe in Christianity. Why? Because my mother believed in it,
right,
and she took me to church, my grandma. I'm not believing in it because I've done some type of research and rational thought. And the same with Islam, the same with Hinduism. However you are brought up, that's what you do. So now I go to Xavier University, and now I have to start to study Christianity. And now there's new information that I'm encountering that I've never heard before that challenges my belief system. And so instantly I do what? I reject it.
Right.
So cognitive dissonance is when you're holding on to a belief so strongly that now if somebody comes and shows me, and they can show me in the book, they can show me through all facts, and I'm going to automatically reject it because my mind is holding strong to the belief system that I have. And so I don't want to accept all of the facts that Brother Tamani is now introducing to me. And now that rejection is what we call cognitive dissonance.
Gotcha. Okay. So when we first got this thing started, the Black Gold Nation movement in November of 2016, I was saying to people at that time that we have, as a people, about 10 years I was saying 8 to 9 years actually, to put something together that's on automatic pilot, that's going to protect Black people, put us in a position to own and or control the environment and do our own thing. I was saying at that time, we got about 8 or 9 years. Now, 4 years later, that's dropped down to 4 or 5 years because things are changing so rapidly and so quickly.
True.
What do you see as the most critical threats to Black life, Black people here in America, brothers and sisters in Africa, as well as the diaspora, as it relates to time to build our own thing that's going to put us in a position to start winning some of these battles? What do you think our most critical threats are?
Our most critical threat?
Yeah. What the thing, but like when we tell people that we don't have a lot of time, what is happening as it relates to us not having a lot of time? Why don't we have a lot of time?
Okay. Well, the number one thing is the economic reset that is going on as we're speaking. Though the coronavirus is real, that is not the primary thing of what's going on. In order for the New World Order to come into full play, they had to figure a way of halting to some degree the global economy. And instead of trying to do it by way of a nuclear weapon, which they don't want to do, they just want to create the threat of being able to do that. They came up with another type of mass warfare, and that is germfare. And so you come up with the germfare that puts a pause on the global economy in order for them now to start to do the reset. And, you know, people go in the stores all the time now. They can't find change. You know, I went into Walmart and the girl said, "You want your change back?" And I given her ass $10 and it was like $9.50. I said, "Hell yeah, I want my goddamn change back. 50 cents. 50 cents, I need that."
Right.
I got to go wash some clothes, okay? So you see that the lack of change is going on. You see that in the self-checkout lines, they don't have any cash.
Mm-hmm.
So they're preparing you for what? A cashless society.
Right.
So a lot of the money that people are making under the table, and, you know, hey, bro, a lot of that is about to be shut down. So that's the number one threat, the economic reset that's going on. That's real. That's happening real time.
Mm-hmm.
That's number one. The other threat, the main threat to us is ourselves. I mean, that's the main threat. If we don't conquer the slave mentality, and it ain't gonna happen with like 90% of us or 80%, but if 30 to 40% of us don't conquer our slave mentality and mobilize and organize together so that we can take control from a grassroots perspective of a few cities, especially in the South.
Yep.
This is where this is going to happen. And now re-migrate people from the West Coast and the East Coast back to the South so that we can take control of our agriculture, food production, our water supply, things of that particular nature, and learn how to systematically learn how cities function. If we don't do that, everything else is going to come into play. And that gets back to those empowerment pillars, the 6 pillars of empowerment that I always talk about. Tara likes to say, you know, wear the mask first. And I always tell Tara, although she's a doctor of pharmacy, I always say, Tara, the first and foremost thing is the internal mechanism of our immune system. We must be focused on our health and wellness first and foremost, then the personal protection gear, whatever you're wearing, whether it's a mask, a damn helmet, whatever the hell you want to put on your goddamn head. But if you're not improving your immune system and working to become healthier, these are the most detrimental things that are impacting us right now, along with the global reset that's on the forefront. And if you can't improve your health and learn how this thing is working globally and then mobilize and organize with like-minded people, it's pretty much over with for you. I'm just being honest.
Okay.
You just hang it on the frame.
All right. Now, of course, everything you said is extremely important, because we absolutely must understand that we do not have a lot of time to get all that stuff in place. You're talking about 4 to 5 years to find the right Black people who are ready to do something, mobilize them, organize them, psychologically and spiritually heal them, get them on the right track, educate them as to how this thing really works. Then we got to get them to vote in numbers large enough that we can take over small land masses around the country. So it's a lot to be done, and the clock is constantly ticking, right?
We're doing that right now, though. We working.
Well, no doubt. I'm just saying we still got a lot of work to put in, because we got a lot of spaces to take over. So that's the importance of not wasting time, right? And the title of tonight's show is the philosophy, system, and game of capitalistic white supremacy and racism, the danger of identity, politics, bad leadership, and bad advice. We don't have time for bad leadership and bad advice, right? So because every day matters, every week matters, every month, every year, and before you know it, we're gonna be another 5 years down the road, and we're not gonna be ready, and we're gonna be a permanent underclass, if not worse. So during episode 4 of the Revolutionary Code, the title of the show was Exposing Pseudo Solutions of the Negro Class and Why Mobilizing and Organizing Black People is the Only Answer. So during that show, we discussed what I see as the top 5 pseudo solutions that Black people or melanated people are trying to get other melanated people to do. Those 5 pseudo solutions are separation without the usage of political power, separations by obtaining a certain classification that can be recognized by a larger world court, focusing on only one problem, waiting on reparations, and religiosity. Those are the 5 that I mentioned. Now, I want you to briefly tell us why each of those are non-starters. The first one, why is separating without the usage of political power, why is that a pseudo solution? Why is that a non-starter?
Because you're not going to separate yourself in this system from white folks.
Right.
That's when we're talking about retardation. That's retardation. When you talk about separating, what Negroes are really trying to say is they want to be able to take everything that white folks create, the monetary system, the supermarkets, the infrastructure, electricity. I mean, when you really sit and think about this, you're talking about electricity, you're talking about gas, you're talking about so many things.
Right.
So they really want to romanticize about being basically a child and kind of like moving in the backyard in the treehouse of your parents' house, and then doing what the hell they want to in the treehouse. but they come down and come into the house and get the food when they want to.
Right.
Get the damn water when they want to. That's really what they're talking about. Because when you start to, for example, Brother Money, right now, the city of Shreveport is roughly between us being a town and a city. Shreveport started out being a town in 1835. Okay, so Shreveport right now as a town is like 100 between the town and the city construct is like 185 years old.
Okay.
Cities that are that age, they started putting in water and sewer infrastructure back in the late 1800s, early 1900s.
Right.
And this was done with cast iron pipes and whatnot. You and I were talking about this today. Dude, the cast iron pipes, they have eroded, right?
Yep.
And a lot of sewer lines are backing up into people's houses. So the federal government has come in and put a consent decree on the city of Shreveport. Do you want to know how much this is costing the city of Shreveport right now to make sure that we don't have raw sewer backing up into people's houses? Just the sewer line,
right,
replaced over $1.3 billion. And ain't no grants to help you with that. Guess where the money got to come from?
The federal government.
No, bro. The federal government's taxing us.
Oh, the municipality.
Yeah, it got to come from the municipality.
Right.
Okay. So when you start talking about separating yourself, you're going to be responsible for that.
Right.
Ain't gonna be no help coming from no state. If we really sit and think about this, like right now, the coronavirus is going on. So now, if you don't have businesses to employ the people, if you want to separate, okay, let's go on and say you're gonna want to be pseudo-sovereign. Pseudo-sovereign because you're not gonna control your own monetary system. But let's say you want to be pseudo-sovereign and you're staying on your own land. Okay. Coronavirus can hit you. Do you have your own hospital? Are you going to be able to make money? You know, a lot of people have been benefiting by being at the house for the past 7 months.
Yeah.
You're going to be we got to stop playing games because that's not going to happen.
Right.
Just saying that let's separate. Right. That sounds good. It sounds romantic. And then when you hear people say, hell, give us Texas.
we'll take Texas. Right.
There was a civil war in 1861.
Yeah.
Right? You're not even ready for that.
Right.
It doesn't even make any sense.
Yeah.
So to put effort into even considering that is actually retarded.
Cool. All right. And I'm glad you said what you said about sovereign citizenship, because that was the next pseudo solution, separating by obtaining a certain classification that can be recognized by a larger world court. Why is that a non-starter? That
is more stupid than the first thing, because there is no goddamn world court.
Wait. You mean to tell me that the UN can't put the United States in check? What are you talking about?
The United States controls the United Nations.
Right.
And it ain't no damn court. The United States controls the United Nations.
That's right.
Malcolm didn't understand that.
Right.
Back in the 1860s.
That's right.
When he said, "Oh, we're gonna go put the United States on." Who's gonna arrest the United States?
Right. It sounds good though.
Like the world is gonna change the United States. Hell, they just go shoot your ass, shoot your damn leaders, and then put their own person in and say, "No, that's wrong."
Or they're gonna stop giving you money. because the United States is the largest financial supporter of the UN.
Exactly.
Which is really interesting. All right, so the next one, focusing.
No world court.
Amen. The next one, focusing on only one problem. We got to do economics first. We got to do spirituality first. We got to do politics first. Blah blah blah. Why is that a non-starter? Focusing on only one problem at a time.
So if you're in an automobile accident today, and you break your damn leg, you break your damn arm, your damn neck is fractured, your damn fibula is broken, your damn eye socket, your eyes out your damn head, and your wrist is broken, your ribs are broken. I mean, you just messed up.
Right.
And now somebody comes and says, the doctor says, "Hey man, we're gonna go on and operate on your wrist. go operate on your wrist, and all of the other things that's wrong with you, you know, your damn spleen, your fibula, your ass can't walk. We just gonna handle that, you know, in the next 5 years."
That's right. We'll get to it.
We'll get to that.
Yeah, we'll get to it.
Do you know how retarded that is, man?
That sounds pretty bad.
You got to now holistically deal with that person who's now been injured in a variety of different ways.
That's right.
And you're going to decide which surgery you're going to do first, but it's going to all be done before that person leaves that damn hospital.
That's right.
You're not going to let that person leave that hospital without addressing all of the issues that came about because of that automobile accident. And that's where we're at. We got to work on each part of this simultaneously.
Right. Right. Because we've been in an accident on purpose and we all broke up.
Exactly.
All right. The next one, waiting on reparations. Why is that a non-starter?
Because now, you know, it's interesting. I'm glad you brought up reparations. You know what? We're going to offer up our own reparations plan.
Yep.
We're going to do it very uniquely, and I think the white folks are going to be interested. I can't reveal it right now.
Sure.
I don't want nobody to steal because nobody has thought about how we're going to do this. But reparations are not going to happen. But we still need to, like I say, out of respect for our ancestors, we need to offer up a game plan. Mm-hmm. And one thing that I've never done in all of these years of doing this work, I've never offered up a comprehensive plan for reparations that's logical, that makes sense, and that could actually pass some state legislatures and some potentially get approved at the national level. And you would have to know how that's done. Mm-hmm. And I will give you a hint. It will not be done directly from an individual standpoint, but it will be done from a group standpoint. But I'm not going to tell you what kind of group and whatnot, because I don't want to give too much of the game plan away. But that's not going to happen. Mm-hmm. And like I told you, we would be more well off, if we were able to procure a 20% goal of the 97% of the disposable income that goes to every other ethnic group that operates businesses in our community.
Right.
If we were able to go after 20% of $1.45 trillion mm-hmm. and get 10% of that on an annual basis, that's $145 billion a year coming back into targeted Black communities throughout the country. That is where we need to focus our attention. But reparations is definitely not going to happen. And if every African descendant were to be given, hell, $2 million tomorrow in the fractured slave mind that we're in, hell, by the end of September, they had to be broke. Because they would have given it right back to the white.
Right. So of course we agree that reparations is owed, but you're saying we're never going to get it because why is waiting on it a non-starter? Why are we never going to get it?
Because you got to have the majority of Congress to approve it.
Exactly. That's all I need to hear. Okay, cool. The last one, religiosity. Why is religiosity a non-starter?
Because Jesus is tired.
Jesus is tired. He ain't coming back no time soon.
Jesus need a goddamn break.
Dig it. Okay, so it's very, very, very important that we as a people understand that time is not on our side. It's also equally just as important that because time is not on our side, because of everything that's happening for those persons that are in power to keep power, everything that's happening is anti-us, anti-poor, anti-melanation. Anything we do that's not about putting ourselves in a position to own or control the environment is a waste of time. We want our people to understand it is a waste of time and we don't have time to waste. So a lot of our people believe in these solutions because other people are pushing them, right?
Exactly. And the people who are promoting those pseudo solutions, they what? Identify with them.
Sure. Right. Yeah.
Identity politics.
They identify with them and they're making some money.
Exactly.
So you know, we might need to add another one to that list, which is people who believe in not being involved in the political process. So you sent me a video earlier in the week, as you do every morning. Every morning, Brother Craig sends me about 4 or 5 articles, videos about different aspects of this whole matrix system the white man has built, the game, blah, blah, blah. He's always sending me stuff to educate me, to inform me, to keep me in the loop. You sent me a video most recently. Brother Tariq Nasheed, whom I actually respect as relates to what he's done with this educational video series, Hidden Colors. He's done an excellent job on that project, and I commend and applaud him for that. But in this particular video, he gives us a little bit of insight into what he's thinking politically, which is what we have an issue with. A sister calls into his program. They're talking about supporting Kamala Harris, and he's telling her, he's asking a few questions, and he's on point until he gets to his solution as to what we need to be doing. So I'm going to share that video, and it's 8 minutes long. So I'm gonna share the video so you guys can hear, Tariq Nasheed's position, his perspective on things. Hear what the sister says as well, because it's absolutely important that we understand what identity politics look like, what most of our people are thinking, how we behave, how we act to people that we identify with, and we don't really know that person's politics because we're not paying attention. So I'm going to share that video real quick. We're going to watch it, and then we're going to come back and analyze and go from there. So give me a quick second to share my screen. There we go.
I can see it.
Cool. All right, here we go. You can hear it, right?
Yep.
All right.
Oh, let me get Ashley Jones on. Ashley, get on real quick. Let me get Ashley on here. She said, white people are scared of Kamala. Let me get you on here, Ashley. What's up, Ashley?
Cause you know, don't let me start going in.
No,
I gotta get myself together.
How are they scared of her, dude?
What you say, my brother? First of all, I got so much love for you, but sometimes we don't always see eye to eye. So
Of course. So why do you think they're scared of Kamala Harris?
Because she's intelligent, she's beautiful, she got it going on. She's everything. She got it going on. Just like how they was scared of Obama.
She got it going on how?
Well, she's for the people, of the people, by the people to begin with, right?
Okay, let's stop there. Okay, how is she for black people?
Well, she was a prosecutor, and I know that's why a lot of us don't like her, because she was a prosecutor. But
and she put a lot of black folks in jail. That's why we don't like her.
Well, I mean, okay. I'll give you that.
Are you about to say they deserve to go to jail? Are you going? Do I smell biscuits, sister?
No, I'm not here for the cheddar and bowl biscuits. Okay. I'm not here for all that.
We don't want to get you attacked over there. We don't want people plugging your time.
I'm not here for that. But what I am here for is black excellence. I feel like she represents the epitome of black excellence. She is countering. So she's fighting the system of white supremacy. I mean, it's two sides. It's two sides right now.
How is she? Kamala Harris is a collaborator with white supremacy. How is she fighting white supremacy?
Well, because it's us against them, right? So we have Donald Trump and we have the Republicans. They are pushing this very corrupt. They are white supremacy. At this moment in time, right now, that's why they're trying to keep us from voting. That's why they're trying to stifle the power that we have within our own community, and she represents the voice in our community.
They're just trying to win, but she doesn't. Kamala, what voice does Kamala represent for black people? She has, sweetie. Kamala has already said, I ain't gonna do nothing just for black people. No, she's already said that very plain and clear. So what do you think she's doing for black people? Because I'm just going by her words. I'm going by what she said. She said she ain't doing shit for us. So what do you think she's going to do? You think she was lying?
So you think that we have we have more there's more power in not voting or voting for Donald Trump?
No, there's more power in not voting because we'll cripple one party and we'll let them know and show them our power. We have more power in not voting. You have more power in standing still and weaponizing your vote. We'll use our vote as a weapon. We'll say, okay, if you don't do what we want to do, but you're going to do all these things for these other groups, and we're your voter base, we will let you crash and burn. We will do that to you. And that's what we're doing to the Democrats right now. We're punishing them by withholding our vote. We're spanking that ass, and they don't know what to do about it. And it's not going to harm us one way or another. Them scaring us with Trump, that don't work on us. Because
so what happens? What happens?
Go ahead.
I'm sorry, I apologize. I don't mean to cut you off, brother. But what happens when we withhold our vote and then they win, right? And then the Donald Trumps of the world win, and then this corrupt system of white supremacy wins, because that's what they're counting on. That's why
they're already winning. We have nothing to lose and everything to gain. They're already winning. Biden is Trump part 2. Biden was Trump before Trump. Trump got the game from Biden. Biden is an OG white supremacist. He's no better than Trump at all. And what do we do? What we do, like I said, we withhold our vote, let them crash and burn, and then the next people who step up to the political arena, they're going to understand they're going to have to come through with tangibles, or they're going to have to crash and burn. So we're going to teach them a lesson right now, and that's exactly what we're doing. So the next time people know, they're going to have to come out that pocket and give us what we want, because they're giving every other group what they want. So withholding our vote is the smartest thing we can do right now, because it's a lose-lose situation. They just want us to participate in the process. We have to stop participating in our own demise. So we're doing the right thing right now. So we don't have to vote for anybody. We can sit back and be strategic about what we're doing, and we're going to be fine.
So if we withhold our vote,
go ahead, dear.
If we withhold our vote and Donald Trump wins and these Republicans win, and they're appointing these white supremacist lifelong positions, right? They're appointing these judges in these lifelong positions to actively oppress us, right? If we withhold our vote and they win, which is what they're counting on, that's why they're implementing whatever this craziness is within the United States Post Office, right?
Ashley, do you know that a lot of these cities where black people are getting murdered, they're Democrat-run cities, sweetie. The Democrats are no better. Most of these murders are happening in Democratic-run cities. Freddie Gray up in Baltimore, democratically run. George Floyd, democratically run cities. When Mike Brown got killed, the Democrats were running that. Alton Sterling, the Democrats running that. Philando Castile, the Democrats running that. The Democratic prosecutors as well. So the Democratic prosecutors, judges, DAs, these people are just as bad. We got to understand Obama didn't do anything about it. Remember, Eric Garner, all of these black folks got killed under Obama. Obama didn't do anything. Eric Holder didn't do anything. None of these folks did anything. But we're going to make them do the right thing. See, that's what Foundational Black America, we've always had to force these folks to do what the hell they're supposed to do, and that's what we're doing now. And Kamala Harris can go get her some curry powder and sit the fuck down, because we ain't supporting her ass either.
I cannot. Okay, we'll agree to disagree. We will agree to disagree.
You went to college, right?
Absolutely, yeah, and Miss Harris went to Howard, by the way. Historic.
And you went to Howard too. You went to Howard too, right?
I went to ECU.
Okay. What sorority are you in?
I'm a free thinker, so I really don't affiliate myself with any group thinking organization. I try not to, but no, I'm not a part of any sorority.
Okay. Just checking. Okay, dear. Anyway, thank you so much for calling in, dear. All right. Go to.
All right. Okay. So before I ask the next question, let me give a summation. Well, first off, let me say if you're just joining us and you didn't hear the intro, you're listening to the Revolutionary Code, where we'd like to bring the truth about how governmental politics actually works in every facet of human existence and how it affects our few Black people in America. Tonight's show is our 8th episode and is titled The Philosophy, System, and Game of Capitalistic White Supremacy and Racism, the Danger of Identity Politics, Bad Leadership, and Bad Advice. And we're about to get into that bad leadership and that bad advice. My name is Tamani Mandani. I'm the founder of the Black Gold Nation Movement. And my co-host is Brother Craig B. Lee. He's the National Director of our Political Strategy and Implementation Department. So, Brother Craig, so there are two things obviously going on in the video. One is the sister's identification with Senator Kamala Harris, who she's obviously supporting, but she obviously don't understand a few things about Kamala Harris. And of course, Brother Tariq's advice to her and all Black people. So we're gonna deal with the sister first. This is what she says. She says that she said Kamala Harris, she said she's intelligent and beautiful. Yep. She's got it going on. She's for the people, of the people, and by the people. She represents the epitome of Black excellence. Yeah. She is kind, and she's fighting the system of white supremacy. So, can you speak on the first part? Where does our sister get it wrong as it relates to Senator Kamala Harris and
classic identity politics?
Yeah.
Classic. All of that. Is she intelligent? Yes. Is she beautiful? Yes. Does she perceptively have it going on? Yes. And so where does that identity politics connection come from? It comes from a TV show. And the Negroes didn't even know they were being manipulated with the TV show. You know what that TV show was, Brother Tamani, or is?
Well, you say, if you had said was, I would have said the Cosby Show. Now you said is. I don't know. What is that?
Scandal.
Oh, I've never seen Scandal.
Scandal is, let me show you how cold-blooded the white folks are. And I was having a conversation with Tara. I didn't even know this. Do you know who introduced Kamala Harris when she came out to say her speech a few weeks ago?
No.
The female who played the starring role in Scandal, and Scandal is about a high-powered, melanated African descendant female, and her name is Olivia Pope in the show.
Okay.
And Olivia Pope is making moves and deals in Washington. And guess who she's having sex with? Kerry Washington, right, Dr. D? Kerry Washington is playing the lead role, and she's playing Olivia Pope. And so they promoted this female, and she's sleeping with the Caucasian president.
The enemy?
Yeah, sleeping with them. And bruh, this is so clever how they manipulated Negroes in this country. They got the Negro prime for Kamala Harris 10 years ago. Just like they got the Negro prime for Barack Obama with what TV show? 24. The brother who does all the Allstate commercials.
Yeah.
You know, if they would accept a dark-skinned Negro as president, they'll accept a light-skinned Negro as president. So that's the first thing. They got him ready, and they brought Olivia Pope to introduce Kamala Harris.
Right.
Because the whole symbolism is that we're going to get her to be president.
Right, and she's going to be a mover and a shaker because she's Olivia Pope.
Exactly.
Because if it happens on TV, it can happen in real life.
Exactly. Bro, it's so, I got to give it to the white folks.
Yeah.
I ain't going to lie. It's clever. So at the end of the day, that's where all of that comes from. So that's the identity politics. And she's stuck on that. You ain't hear her say nothing about policy.
Right.
Not one damn time.
Yeah, nothing concrete about what she's done as a prosecutor or what she's done for Black people. She said that she is for the people, of the people, and by the people. Ain't no way in hell Kamala Harris is for, of, or by Black people. Ain't no way in hell.
Now let me mess you up because you're in Texas, and my cousin Craig Watkins was the first African-American district attorney in the history of the state of Texas. He became district attorney in Dallas, Texas. Now, here's the problem for Kamala Harris or any Negro who tries to sell Kamala Harris to me. This is where you're gonna mess up, because in Texas, my cousin, as the district attorney, you can research this, go Google him, Craig Watkins. He got over 30 males who were on death row, off death row as a damn district attorney. That ain't even the district attorney's job. This sister was helping to lock people up on false charges, false convictions.
That's right.
And there were over 600 plus convictions that had to be overturned under her watch.
Right.
Okay? So I want people to go and look at Craig Watkins, first black district attorney in the history of Texas, and then compare what he did as the DA in Dallas, Texas, with Kamala Harris in San Francisco. And Dallas, Texas is way bigger than San Francisco, okay?
Yeah.
But he helped people get off death row. She ain't even got 5% on my damn cousin. Not even 5%.
Right.
So there's nothing else that she's done. This is nothing but rhetoric and game. The sister told you why she's voting for. She's intelligent, beautiful, and she got it going on.
Right.
All of this for the people, by the people, ain't nothing but rhetoric.
That's right.
Okay, nothing but rhetoric.
Yeah.
And then when you say she's black, well, she ain't black.
She ain't black.
Because she announces herself as an Indian, so she's just using the word black. That's why I created the 6 factions, so people would know that black is not melanin. Black is a state of mind. And when you look at her birth certificate, her mother identified herself as a Caucasian because under the Indian cultural realm, they do not like African people, although they are African descendants themselves. Right. This is the kind of hatred that's going on. And then I tell people to research what her father said. Her father don't even deal with her right now because she's used identity politics to justify why she smokes weed.
Right.
Okay?
Yeah.
And she said, I got that from my Jamaican side. You see what I'm saying? Her dad was very pissed off.
Very offended, yeah. Yep.
All right? So that's on that side. Now, Tariq was going good until he came up with the foolishness about weaponizing our vote by not voting.
Yeah, let me give the breakdown of what Tariq said as well. And it was also funny. The sister said about Kamala Harris, she said she's fighting the system of white supremacy. I thought that was funny. All right,
now that was retarded.
Extremely.
You can't fight the system of white supremacy by working for that don't even make any damn sense.
You can't be prosecuting if you fighting the system. Yeah, I get it. All right. So Tariq said, quote, there's more power in not voting because we'll cripple one party and we'll let them know and show them our power. He said we have more power. He said we have more power standing still and weaponizing our vote. He said we're punishing them by withholding our vote. It's not going to harm us one way or another. We withhold our vote and let them crash and burn. They're giving every other group what they want. They got to bring tangibles to us. It's the smartest thing we can do. And lastly, we are spanking that ass, end quote. So why is this bad leadership and bad advice?
Because he doesn't even understand the game.
Right.
He doesn't even understand the game. You have to, this brother has not created a political organization. He's not created an agenda. So to now recommend that our people don't do anything, do not vote, that is absolutely retarded. Because when you don't go vote on that day, okay, there are also other elections going on for senator, for Congress in your respective city.
Mm-hmm.
You are setting the people up to now become more apathetic, pessimistic, cynical, and ignorant, because that's not how this game works. You have to offer up, at least Ice Cube is offering up some type of plan, even though it's not comprehensive in nature. This dude ain't offering up nothing. He's just saying, don't go vote. At least Ice Cube and Puff Daddy and those guys are saying, God damn it, if you want our vote, you're going to have to negotiate a deal.
Mm-hmm.
Because they're saying before we render services, which is our vote,
mm-hmm.
you're going to come negotiate with us on an agenda for Black people. Now, they can't get that done because they themselves have not mobilized and organized a political group that represents all of these particular individuals. So at the end of the day, boom, the individuals are in office, and the Republican Party wants the Negro not to vote anyway, but the agenda is, whether it's Republican or Democrat, we put together a contract and negotiate with both parties, and whichever party rolls with our plan, that's who get our votes and our money behind them.
Right. And I think and that's where we falter, by having an incomplete solution, because you can't say we are not going to give you our vote when you haven't mobilized and organized the we. There is no we and there is no our. So you're just talking. That's the first thing. And secondly, if you don't have any power that you can use to wield to hold them accountable for trying to get something for your vote, then they're going to do what they did this last election. Everybody's going to agree, black, white, and otherwise, not to talk about their reparation shit.
Exactly.
They're not going to talk about it. So guess what? All that yelling and screaming you're doing, and you are right. You are righteous. We are old. You are correct. But power don't work that way. Power is never given, shared. It only respects power and is always taken. And what we don't seem to understand is that we forget that we black. We're not like everybody else. So who gives a shit if they give reparations to the Chinese or to the Native Americans or whomever, because that ain't us.
Exactly.
And if you want reparations, you have to mobilize and organize yourselves and take it.
Exactly.
But to take it, you got to have a plan in place to do so, which of course we do not. So the last thing that made me kind of laugh was what the sister was saying when Tariq asked her if she was a member of a fraternity, of a sorority. She said no, because I'm a free thinker. I was like, yeah, okay, yeah, you're a free thinker. All right, if you say so.
He said was about a unconscious group thought process, everything. But she hit on something important when she talked about the appointment of judges.
Yes, good point.
And this is where Negroes need to study history.
Yeah.
Now, Obama was in office. All you got to do is study this stuff. Tariq brings up a counter as relates to Eric Holder. So Eric Holder, for all intents and purposes, was what? Supposedly a black attorney general, right?
Right.
So what happened to the Darren Wilson in Ferguson with Mike Brown? Not a goddamn thing.
Nothing?
Nothing. Okay? Because look, they play you all the time by putting melanated people who are pseudo bourgeoisie Negroes in key positions, and they're going to maintain the status quo.
That's right.
Of capitalism. It's the philosophy, system, and game. This is a game, and they use the pieces in the game to manipulate you to believing that something is going on when nothing is going on. So now, Barack Obama had a chance to put 2 black folks on the goddamn Supreme Court. Who the hell did he put on the Supreme Court, brother? Was there any black person?
No.
Not one.
Not one.
Not one. See, we gotta stop lying, bruh.
Yeah.
We gotta stop this. So then you got Negroes, when nothing happens for their stupid ass, then they come back and say, well, he just can't do stuff for black people. He just ain't the president for it. I've never seen somebody constantly get messed over and give the person who is messing over them, who's supposed to represent their interests, an out because everybody else got a benefit.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
This is where we're at within the overall game. And that's why, Brother Tamani, when you can keep people at a disadvantage by not knowing how to think and not knowing that words turn into sentences, then into paragraphs, then into thought, then into ideas, then into philosophy. And you don't understand that the philosophy that's in place is perpetually against you.
Yep.
And they will use people who look like you.
Yep.
To oppress you. And if you don't get that black is not skin pigmentation, but a state of mind, you ain't never gonna win in this game.
Right.
You ain't never gonna win in this goddamn game.
And that's why we keep losing. And that's why we keep losing.
Because all we want to do is see the symbol and not the substance.
Right.
So Kamala, since we don't know what black is, we perceive that black is phenotype skin pigmentation, so she can pass for being black, although she connects with Indian. And now within that overall dynamic, because she's a part of the Divine Nine and she went to Howard, she gets a pass, although her policy do not represent the best interest of the people. And brother, I say this on the last part. If you just check the record of Trump, go beyond all of the rhetoric that Trump is talking, check his record for black folks versus Barack Obama. HBCUs, black business owners, check his record versus Barack Obama. I could give you 30 articles to show you that his track record on doing for HBCUs, black businesses, and whatnot is far better. I'm not voting for Donald Trump, but I can tell you this. If it were not for him right now, all of the grassroots advocacy that's going on throughout the world, it wouldn't be going on. If Hillary Clinton was in office, these Negroes would still be asleep.
Yeah. And what's unfortunate about everything you just said is that it's not like the reality of what's happening is hidden. I mean, it's right in front of our face, but we refuse to do the research to fully understand how everything is played, and we constantly get duped. I don't blame white people for being white people. They are who they are. I blame us for not realizing that the game they've been playing from day one is the game that they're still playing. And we allow them to continue to win that game because we refuse to get hip to the game because we don't want to do the work.
And brother, to money for the 9,000th goddamn time, Donald Trump is working for the goddamn Democratic Party. He's not a goddamn Republican. All of the stupid ass stuff that Donald Trump is saying, Negroes, no Republican would be saying all of this foolishness that this dude is saying. They are forcing you into the corner of selecting Biden. This is a damn chess game. This is not tic-tac-toe. This is not Yahtzee, goddammit. This is not Jack. Learn the game so that you can stop getting played like the pawns that we keep on getting played at.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. With that, we're going to open it up to questions if we have any. And if not, we will give Brother Craig his closing comments. I'll make mine, and then we will be done. So does anyone who is joining us on Zoom, does anybody have a question for Brother Craig about anything he covered in this episode of the Revolutionary Code? Any questions at all from anybody? Any questions going once? Any questions going twice? Okay, Brother Craig. No one has any questions, so it's on you. Give us your closing comments.
I would just close out with the summation and a quote that I always say, and you brought it up today in terms of power. But again, this is attributed to Frederick Douglass, but I don't really believe he said it because he was trained by the revolutionary pale skin by the name of John Brown. But the quote is, if there is no struggle, there is no progress. Those who profess to favor freedom, yet deprecate agitation, are men who want crops without plowing up the ground. They want rain without thunder and light. They want the ocean without the awful roar of its many waters. This struggle may be a moral one, or it may be a physical one, or it may be both moral and physical, but it must be a struggle. Power concedes nothing without a demand. Never has, never will. Men may not get all they pay for in this world, but they most certainly will pay for all they get. Remember that, Black folks. Power concedes nothing without a demand.
Amen and Ashe, brother. Thank you very much for those powerful and eloquent words. I appreciate it. And let me say, if you want more information about the Black Gold Nation movement, please visit our events website, blackgold-wakandarising.com. Click on After the Protest and become an active part of our 100 city virtual tour as we seek to build teams of Black people around the country who are ready, willing, and able to do what's required to change the nature of our communities and our people. Two things I like to end our shows with, my live broadcast with. Always remember that no one can do everything, but if everyone does something, everything will get done. And absolutely always remember that nothing is more sacred. Not me, not you, not your kids, not my kids, not your family, not my family. Nothing is more sacred than the liberation and salvation of Black people. Because if Black people don't make it, our loved ones are not going to make it. But if we put the group first, if we put the nation first and take care of the nation, then by default, our loved ones will also be taken care of as well. So again, thank you guys for being part of the show. I sincerely appreciate it. Please share this with as many Black people as you can. Take care. God bless and have a wonderful evening. Thank you.
Peace.
Peace.